Welcome to Historical Veracity, the channel where we peel back the layers of time to reveal the essence of history. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey to uncover the mysteries surrounding the canonization of the Hebrew Bible, or the Tanakh. This topic has captivated scholars for generations, sparking debates and research that delve deep into ancient history and religious tradition. The question of when the Tanakh was finalized is complex, entangled in a web of historical, linguistic, and theological threads. Researchers employ various methods to explore this subject, drawing from archaeological discoveries, linguistic analyses, and historical records that stretch back thousands of years. Critiques based on outdated scholarship, such as the assertion that the Phoenician Cadmus invented writing in the 10th century BCE as per Greek mythology, are no longer tenable. This suggests that it would have been impossible for the Israelites to have written texts during their desert wanderings. However, the discovery of ancient texts predating this period by millennia has debunked such claims. A historical view held by some early scholars proposed that the sacred writings were sealed during the Hasmonean period. This was inferred from accounts of Torah scrolls being destroyed wherever found by the enemies of the Jews, leading to a reorganization and resealing of the sacred texts thereafter. Modern scholarship has refuted this notion for several reasons, including the widespread distribution of texts, translations, hidden scrolls, the Samaritans, external books, and general proofs such as the sanctity of the Torah known to early prophets, internal protective mechanisms within Torah laws, and the timeline of the Torah's writing. Despite this consensus among researchers, authors of introductions and reviews sometimes ignore these conclusions. They mistakenly compare the reorganization of sacred texts after their destruction with the absurd idea of composing a new Talmud after its burning in France, neglecting the fact that not all copies could have been found and destroyed. Josephus, a 1st century Jewish historian, emphasized the unwavering faith of Jews in the divine origin of their sacred texts, willing to endure torture and death rather than speak against them. Yet it was understood that modifications to these texts were acceptable if they aligned with their beliefs. Controversies exist around the authorship and timing of various books within the Tanakh, such as Ecclesiastes and Malachi, with some scholars suggesting later dates of composition. However, evidence from texts like Ben Sira, which acknowledges earlier compositions, challenges these views. The story of the Hebrew Bible's translation into Greek under Ptolemy and its implications for the dating of Esther's scroll further complicates the narrative, providing linguistic and archaeological evidence that contradicts assumptions about the text's late composition. The discussion extends to the preservation and significance of minor prophet writings and the implications of findings that suggest a broader and earlier dissemination of these texts than previously thought. The discovery and later acknowledgement of external books, which were initially unknown to early critics, have added layers to our understanding of the Second Temple period's literature. These texts reflect a diversity of thought and influence from Hellenistic culture, which is distinct from the more traditional Jewish writings of the Pharisees and Sadducees. The early Christian adoption of certain Jewish texts into their canon, despite the contemporaneous Jewish rejection of these works, illustrates the complex interplay between religious communities and their sacred literatures. In conclusion, the process of canonizing the Hebrew Bible was not a straightforward or swift one. It involved centuries of tradition, debate, and reverence for texts considered sacred. The journey to understand this process is as rich and varied as the texts themselves, offering insights into the spiritual and historical path of the Jewish people. For a deeper dive into this topic, check out the full article linked in the description below. Join us next time on Historical Veracity as we continue to explore the depths of history, one story at a time.